Ibrahim Traoré was reviewing routine military reports when he stumbled on something that made his blood run cold. Israeli operatives had been conducting secret missions in Burkina Faso for years. What he did next would shake the entire Middle East. But first, here's how a routine security briefing became the most explosive discovery of his presidency. The morning coffee sat untouched on Traoré's desk when Defense Minister Traoré burst in, panic written all over his face. Despite the air conditioning, sweat glistened on his skin. In his trembling hands, a red-stamped folder marked "Urgent, Eyes Only." "Mr. President," he gasped, "we intercepted something last night. It changes everything." Traoré leaned forward. He hadn't seen Traoré this shaken since their academy days under incoming mortar fire. "Show me," he said. What the folder contained would change everything he believed about his country's security. Inside were encrypted transmissions, technical logs, and location data, none from local sources. Every file carried the same haunting metadata. Source, Tel Aviv. Destination, Burkina Faso assets. "How long?" Traoré whispered. 3 years, maybe longer, Traoré replied. 3 years. Foreign agents had operated freely inside his country, gathering intelligence, spying on his government, and worse. The first decoded message chilled him. Target Alpha confirmed. Gold mine production data transmitted. Local officials unaware. They were stealing the nation's most valuable economic secrets. Next, target beta operational. Presidential communications intercepted. Subject unaware. They had been listening to his private conversations with his wife, his children, his closest advisors. And then, the most alarming, target Gamma. Iranian weapons shipment detected. Recommend interception. Subject unaware. Traoré's voice broke the silence. There's something else. Something personal. Another file. Another blow. Inside, a photograph. Colonel David Ouedraogo, Traoré's personal security advisor, the man who dined with his family, who knew his children's names, shaking hands with a Mossad officer in a downtown cafe. Suddenly, everything clicked. Ouedraogo had asked suspiciously detailed questions about meetings, insisted on attending high-level security briefings, and conveniently missed Chinese investment talks. Israel had infiltrated Traoré's inner circle, and deep within those files lay a psychological profile. Subject, Ibrahim Traoré. Threat level, critical. Recommendation, neutralization. Contingencies in place. They had planned for his removal even before he took office. "How many people know?" Traoré asked, voice calm but cold. "Just us," Traoré replied, "and 2 intel officers." All sworn to silence. The betrayal cut deep. But the next 48 hours revealed a web far darker than anyone imagined. Hidden surveillance devices in 3 cities. A telecommunications node rerouting all internet traffic through Israeli servers. An assassination list of religious leaders who had spoken against Israel's policies, all already dead. Their deaths blamed on jihadists. But intercepted messages told the truth. Targets eliminated, no local attribution, operation successful. "They killed our people," Traoré whispered, "on our soil, in our name." Traoré's reply was ice. "Then they've declared war on Burkina Faso." At exactly 3:47 a.m., the counterstrike began. Coordinated raids hit all Israeli operational sites in the country. Traoré personally led the mission to the compound near the capital. What they found defied belief. An active Mossad station disguised as a telecom firm, assassination tools in sealed crates, forged passports and false IDs, and locked inside a reinforced vault. Project New Canaan, a dossier detailing Israel's surveillance of 12 African nations. Worst of all, it included an active plan to eliminate Traoré. Method: helicopter malfunction during inspection. Date: next month. 72 hours later, Traoré stood before the world, flanked by captured Mossad equipment. Today, we expose state-sponsored terrorism by Israel against African nations. He held up the intercepted communications, translated from Hebrew to English. While Israel claimed to fight terror, these documents proved they were exporting it. Video confessions, satellite imagery, technical blueprints. The story exploded across global headlines. And then came a bombshell. Similar evidence surfaced in Mali, Niger, and Chad. Burkina Faso wasn't alone. In just 6 months, 12 nations expelled Israeli operatives. The African Union passed its strongest resolution in decades. Leaders stood in solidarity against foreign espionage, but the price was steep. There were 3 assassination attempts on Traoré. Colonel Ouedraogo was found dead in custody, officially a suicide, unofficially a silencing. In his fortified residence, now swept daily for bugs, Traoré wrestled with the deepest questions. Can sovereignty survive in a world where foreign powers operate with impunity? 1 year later, standing before the same podium, Traoré addressed the continent. They warned us that independence was too costly, that challenging global powers would bring consequences. He gestured behind him, the flags of 12 nations now standing united. But silence was the greater price. Letting foreign powers murder our citizens and steal our resources, that we will no longer accept. Applause erupted. It spilled into the streets. Across Africa, people celebrated a new dawn. What started with a forgotten coffee and a single classified folder became the greatest counterintelligence victory in African history. And this is only the beginning.